Talking about the safest search engines, the two private engines that immediately come to mind are Google and Bing. No, of course not, I'm kidding. These are the worst possible options. I've already covered why Google is not safe and Bing is, well, you know, Bing. I'll explain why these search engines are not safe later, but for now, let's focus on the ones that are actually privacy friendly. After all, you don't want to have your data tracked, recorded, and sold to advertisers, right? So when it comes to privacy friendly software, Brave is the first one that comes to mind. I've reviewed the Brave browser before, but you don't need it to access Brave Search. There are a couple of reasons I consider it to be a much more privacy friendly option than Google or any other popular option. First, there's no personalization. You're not forced to create an account. Your IP address isn't stored. And my favorite, your search results are not tracked or saved in any way at all. Of course, there's still search history, but you have the option to disable that. That's actually the second point. Adjustability. Brave is very transparent about how it fulfills my searches and what data is being used to keep the search engine running. You're free to customize these parameters, which is just unheard of in the Google space. However, I have to put a footnote here. Brave used to utilize Google to obtain search results, but they don't anymore. There might be no Google, but there are goggles. Alright, I'll see myself out, don't worry. Jokes aside, Brave's Goggles feature is an attempt to help users combat intrinsic bias due to data and algorithmic choices that developers can't address themselves. Using Goggles, I can rank search results myself, deciding which of them satisfies my search the best. This feature is still in the beta phase, but it sounds pretty promising to me. When it comes to safe search engines for privacy, Startpage is the granddaddy of all of them. Launched in 2002, Startpage had a rich history, once even being the default search engine for the Tor browser, the most privacy-focused browser of them all. However, after a rocky acquisition in 2019, many users were wondering, well, how safe is Startpage now? Well, after a lot of trials and tribulations, Startpage has reassessed itself as an anonymous search engine solution. Startpage doesn't track or record any user details, including their location data or IP address. However, the search results are pulled from the Google search, so you can expect results closely resembling Google's, minus the personalized links or similar bias. Still, I think the coolest element of Startpage is hands down the anonymous view feature. With a click of this tiny button, I can ask Startpage to retrieve a search result for me using its own IP address, so not even the end website sees that I am accessing it, much like how a VPN would do it. By the way, if you're interested in a reliable VPN solution, I have done a few reviews that you can check out. Back to Startpage. Anonymous views also loads all pictures through the proxy, eliminating the possibility of pixel tracking. In case there are browser functions that can be used to identify you, such as cookies, this feature will disable them as well. Among the search engines that don't track you, Qwant already gets points for not being based in the US. No offense, just the US is not the most privacy-friendly country. This France-based search engine encrypts all search queries, covering against any third-party involvement. As much as I like it, Qwant most likely has that to comply with the UN data and privacy laws. Not every privacy feature is government mandated though. Qwant also doesn't use any cookies, keeps no search history at all, and doesn't track what search results you are accessing. Personally, my favorite part of Qwant is how you can just type the ampersand or exclamation mark with the name of the website you want, and it will preferably search this website. Plus, it's nice there's a kid-friendly Qwant Junior that doesn't allow ads and filters content according to the 6 to 13 age gap. Yet another safest search engine option that is based in Europe is metaGer. Now, before you run out screaming, hear me out. It has nothing to do with Meta. It's just a coincidence. Zuck didn't force me to say that, I swear. Okay, now let's get to it. metaGer is a German-based search engine with full data protection, IP concealing features, and targeted ad removal. Perhaps the strongest part of this all is the anonymizing proxy that protects users while they browse the search results page. metaGer prioritizes protection against censorship, so the results are scooped from about 50 search engines and 24 web crawlers to come up with the extensive and unbiased search results. Currently, it's even possible to access metaGer search from within the Tor network because of metaGer's option to open the results webpage anonymously. Now, this is a seal of approval. Plus, the company behind metaGer is a non-profit organization running their services solely on renewable resources. If you're interested in boosting your privacy, you might have heard about one of the best search engine options, Duckduckgo. This is a great search engine that doesn't track your searches, collect cookies, or record information about your device. Furthermore, it even specifically blocks third-party trackers and only connects you to encrypted copies of the websites that you find through the search engine. Duckduckgo is also the original creator of the Bang system that I mentioned with Qwant earlier. There's a bit of a difference though. Instead of showing results with preference to a website, Duckduckgo will instead search only that website for your results. As good as it sounds, you might have noticed that I placed Duckduckgo quite late on this list after other options, despite its strong capabilities. Well, that's because in 2022, it was revealed that Duckduckgo allowed Microsoft to watch what people do on some websites like LinkedIn and Bing in return for the company's help with advertisements. Even though the information Microsoft collected can't be linked to a particular person's online profile, Duckduckgo didn't release information openly, which is not a good look for a privacy-oriented endeavor. Of course, these are not all of them. Any search engine list you can find online will usually be longer. I've not mentioned most of them because they just don't meet my requirements. For instance, SearX is a great search engine, but as of this September, it's no longer maintained. And the only way to get it is to use the SearXNG, a fork created by the former maintainer of the original search engine. Search Encrypt might be a decent option as well, but it exhibits behavior more commonly found in malware, being extremely annoying and intrusive for absolutely no good reason. Honestly though, it's just child's play compared to what big popular search engines with privacy issues are subjecting you to. Google and Bing, for instance, often track users' locations, check IP addresses, and record this information. Furthermore, it's usually further transmitted to third-party advertisers that use it to build personalized ads for you. More than just your IP address, popular search engines also collect various data, including your search history, online behavior, even interactions with other users, all so that they can discover your preferences and provide you with personalized search results. Needless to say, if such a profile falls into the wrong hands, there will be trouble afoot. Even without threat actors' involvements, receiving filtered search results from such platforms puts you in a filter bubble. When you're only fed things similar to the ones you've already seen, you're missing out on other ideas and information that do not conform to your existing worldview. These points are exactly why I'm using a privacy-focused, safest search engine myself. If you need one as well, go ahead. Any of the options I've mentioned above will immediately give you a much different experience. I'm looking forward to hearing what search engine besides Google that you're using, so leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in another video soon.